It's time for Gardening Inside Out, a live show offering you plant advice for any space in your life. Introducing your perennial hosts, David Bates and Josh Carey.
Hey, welcome in, everybody. It's Saturday morning. It's time for Gardening Inside Out. It comes to you alive here from the Green Room Studios at Bates Nursery and Garden Center. It's conveniently located 0.9 miles north of Briley Parkway at exit 19. Isn't that correct, David?
That is correct, Josh.
Yes.
And some people will go ahead and commit to the full mile.
No.
Depending on which ramp you exit, it is a full mile. So, but that will be a debate ongoing. Well,
it has been for years.
From now until, because it has existed for the last
47 million years. Yes. But it's
anyway,
a glorious day for action. It's going to be an action day.
Yeah, glad everyone could join us today. We'll just go ahead and get into the weather and get that out of the way, and then we will proceed because we've got a lot going on today. Today is Saturday, the 8th of June, and it's going to be a cloudy but warm day. 87 degrees for the high temperatures, and seasonably mild, 70 for the overnight low. We will have a chance of some scattered thunderstorms as we move through tonight and into tomorrow. 76 for the high tomorrow, 59 for the low. We might get a half inch all total. Hard to say, but, we'll find out. That's for sure. Monday, sun comes out. And matter of fact, the sun looks like a theme this coming week, as do warming temperatures. 81 on Monday, 56 for the low, 82, 59 on Tuesday. Then the warming begins Wednesday, 87, 65, 91, 68 Thursday, 94, 71 on Friday. And it's already a good-looking late spring forecast. Let's look at the radar here, and we'll see. This is that's rain is what that is. And if we hit the little future thing here, it appears that it kind of stalls and fizzles before it arrives. So maybe that happens late. Who knows? It's all a prognostication. Well, the future will actually reveal it. Talking about the past, in the past week, we've had about 2/3 of an inch of rain. That gets us up to a little over 1.5 inches for the month. We're at 28 3/4 for the year. So we're more than 3/4 of a way to our average annual rainfall. But it's quite pleasant this morning, 64 degrees here at the Green Room. Live from Bates Nursery and Garden Center. We're glad to have everyone in today and to talk about whatever you want to talk about. It's been a great stretch of weather for all the elements that you want to have in play for successful gardening. And it seems that people have questions associated with that. And, we've got a couple or three of folks here with us, Josh, that do a great job to help keep everyone informed. Yes. Caroline Gant, Austin Lowen, welcome in, guys.
Good morning.
And, of course, Tyler Blankenship across the way. He's the guy that keeps us
good morning.
Somewhat in line. Good morning, Tyler. And we're glad to have everyone here today and to talk about what's going on in your world. But before we get into that serious list of questions, we'll just kick it around here for a minute. How's it going, guys?
It's going great.
Good.
Yeah. I was a little late getting here this morning because there was a wreck on 24 right before
walked in right when we went live.
30 seconds still live.
Amazing.
You know what? I'm here.
Showtime.
It's true.
I'm here. This set looks beautiful today. We've got a dark leaf theme with blue stuff and silver.
Yes, we do.
Oh, yes. It's looking good. A lot of different stuff in here today.
Yep. A variety.
Well, this is why we prepare all day, every day. It's not as though we have to have a huge amount of show prep immediately before the program. And I'm sure Austin's going to prove that point today because we got questions to test his horticultural acumen. And perhaps
we have a lot.
So, don't test me too much today.
You're being tested today. You are being tested.
All right. You know what? Let's just do it.
Are we ready to dive in?
Let's do
Rock
questions.
and roll.
Okay, here we go. Let's start with the pest question. Help, Japanese beetles are munching down on everything. What is the best product to use? I stopped growing certain things because of Japanese beetles.
It's a good point, and that's interesting because I have not seen a Japanese beetle yet. But
I haven't either.
yeah, we live a little bit further out, so I have not seen it yet. But around Nashville, I guess you're starting to see it. It's that time. The June bugs and the Japanese beetles are coming out, and they do damage quickly. Like they're annoying. Like really do damage quickly, and they're a hard shelled insect, big old body beetle.
They're cute though.
Kind of pretty.
They're very pretty.
Their coloring is really nice.
They're exotic looking. They're an exotic invasive insect,
True.
which is awful and no fun. I think they're from Asia, hence the name Japanese
that
beetle.
would
I'm gonna
make
guess.
sense.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess Japan.
But yeah, they do a lot of damage, especially to like crepe myrtle, hibiscus, anything with dark leaves. They really seem to like too. They really like crab apples. Like there's a
They
number
like
of
my
things.
cannas. They like my wild
cannas.
roses. And what is the other thing?
Usually
My
red
primrose.
stuff. The red shades.
Red stuff too.
Yeah.
You know, let's be honest, they're not all that
Everything.
picky.
Knockouts.
No.
They love my knockouts. Yeah.
And there are preventative sprays you can spray on things. I just
Said spray 3 times in one sentence. It's impressive.
The pheromone
Spray the
bags
noun, spray the verb.
Work. The pheromone bags work. Yeah, but you got to hang them on the neighbor's mailbox, right, David?
All right, well, that's
the
what
best place to
when you get
put
a
'em.
new neighbor
Yep.
that moves in as a housewarming gift, give it to them and offer to put it out for them, and put them as far away from your desirables as you can. They're quite effective.
Yep.
They do attract a lot of attention, but
They get full
do
quick.
they get full fast. So you've got to be willing to swap them out.
Oh,
So-
gross. Yeah. Those are yuck. Hey, Helen on Facebook says the Japanese beetles are chowing down on my plants as well. So
Okay.
they're out. They're getting stuff.
All right, so let's just be careful with our sprays if your plants are in
Yes.
bloom, okay? If they're not in bloom, I'm not so much worried about it. But the sprays that are going to kill Japanese beetles are also going to kill bees. So we need to know that. So bees are not going to be active around your plants unless they're in bloom. But crepe myrtles just started to bloom, okay? And there's Japanese beetles that are going to want to be on them. So be careful with that. Now, the actual chemicals that do kill Japanese beetles are pyrethrins, permethrin, lambda-cyhalothrin. That's a weird couple
Say
words.
that one 3 times
I
in
know.
a row. Yeah.
Look at that
But
word.
those are like sprays you can actually spray on the plant, and then the plant takes it in, and once the Japanese beetles munch, that's when they die. So know that. Let's just be. What's the word? Let's be
Judicious with our
that
spray.
responsible. Let's
Yes.
be
Be responsible.
responsible gardeners when it comes to our sprays that can kill bees. Okay.
Yes.
Well,
please do
and lady beetles are also another thing that you don't want to knock down. I mean, they're very beneficial with eating things such as aphids and those kind of things. So ladybugs, lady beetles, whatever you want to call them, you definitely don't want to do damage to them. They're highly beneficial.
I know that's the problem with spraying those chemicals. They kill every bug, not just bad ones. Mm-hmm. Okay, so
Yeah.
be careful. Any pruning efforts are greatly desired whenever it comes to cleaning up your plants. If you have a leaf or two that's gotten munched and it looks bad, take the leaf.
Take
I
it.
said that last.
Take the leaf.
Tyler.
2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I try not to use sprays in my bed just so I attract beneficial insects. And then, like I said, I just stopped planting certain things because in my yard, they just attract Japanese beetle, cannas. I'm about to dig a bunch up if anyone wants any.
Good luck.
Well, they get crazy
I've tried
too,
it once
don't they?
before
Yeah.
and it came right back.
They go nuts anyway, though. I mean, cannas, don't they?
Yes.
They-
Yes,
oh,
but
gosh.
the problem is with mine is they will get to the blooms right before they open.
Oh.
And so I'm like, what's the point? I mean, the leaves
Really?
on mine are really pretty, but
Yeah.
it doesn't do it for me anymore.
They come with a whole host of things.
Yeah, I
Cannas
know
get
you've
too
never
big
liked
too
them.
quick. You can't dig them up. They always come back. And then there's like
That's
a
my
lot of
problem.
caterpillars, Japanese beetles, leaf rollers, which are annoying.
They're kind of cool though,
They're cool.
Yeah.
I'll give you that, but not fun.
but not fun.
Yeah.
No,
So
not fun. Hey, let's switch over to a different type of pest. Does insecticidal soap work on spider mites? If so, do you repeat the application? Yes, it does work on spider mites. It just smothers the pest. So you do have to keep repeating. I suggest spraying it and then wiping it down, getting all the webbing, top of the leaf, bottom of the leaf, get into the stems. And I usually will repeat it every like 3 to 5 days. Now, watch it this time of year with insecticidal soap because if you use it and then your plant is out in the sun, it'll burn those leaves right up.
Yep.
So that's not the best way to do it. So use it at night, let it dry, and like keep it in the shade once you do. But it does work for spider mites. Spider mites aren't terrible. And then there's a follow-up question. Oh, David, did you have something to say?
Oh, yeah. Well, there's one little tidbit about mites and around nurseries such as Bates Nursery that uses overhead irrigation. Typically don't have issues with spider mites, and there's a good reason for that because spider mites like dry foliage, and when you have water being applied daily or sprayed directly on the foliage, it is a strong deterrent. It doesn't kill them, but it certainly impedes their ability to reproduce. So if you want to do the most,
It's like a cold shower.
Yeah.
Okay.
but just to clear, just out of the hose, Josh, is
okay.
the color of the rain is not really the issue. It's just
Where'd you
the
get that?
water.
Where are you going?
I'm just saying.
He's just saying.
Okay.
We did talk about that a little bit last week because we had the question about zinnias with spider mites and aphids, and we talked about just spraying them down with water, and it's going to rinse them off. So you could just put your house plant. I mean, I've put mine in the shower before and just let it run on them for a while, and that does help. But then the second question is, have little webs on some of my house plants. How can I tell if they're from a real spider or spider mites? So typically, if it's a real spider, the actual web's going to be a little bit larger, and it's just going to be like 1 or maybe 3. It's not going to spread throughout the plant. Now, the spider mite infestation will be on almost every leaf if it gets pretty bad, like right where the leaf starts to leaf out from the stem. That's usually where they tuck themselves. And then you'll notice
both arachnids, by the way. So
yeah, but the spiders that you're thinking of, the cute little things, they usually don't do anything bad to the plant, but you'll also notice the leaf will start to be discolored, and that's how you know you have spider mites.
It's like a whitish color.
Yeah, do
Whitish
they
or yellow,
actually?
yeah.
Spider mites don't actually produce a web, do they?
Yeah, they've got webbing.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
They do. It's very, very small.
Okay.
And tight. It's a tight web.
Yeah,
And it's hard to see.
They're a tight knit bunch.
that's right.
All over your
But
plant.
once they take over, it's wild. It's kind of a huge spider mite infestation is a little bit cool in a way because they'll just cover the plant, and then you can finally see them like crawling over everything.
As long as it's somebody else's infestation.
That's right. I've seen a lot of photos. People will bring them in, and I'm like, ooh, that's pretty bad. But spider mites aren't the worst. You can treat them and, get rid of them.
The use of water is the way to go.
Yeah.
It really is. Like you said, like just
Give them a shower.
Yes.
Shower.
Wash them down.
Yep.
Anytime you can do that with anything, water is the first and most organic way to go. Let's be honest.
Let's be real. You're so right. All right, we've got another problem with plants, but this time it's zucchini. Zucchini is getting brown and yellow spots all over the leaves. Is it a fungus? If so, how do I treat it?
Yes, it's probably a fungus. It's been extremely wet.
That's how my cucumbers are right now. They're just they get these spots and then they turn into holes.
But let's observe the plant and let's see if it's on old leaves or if it's on your new leaves. Okay, so like we can spray a fungicide to like help out that spread on the new growth of leaves. But the very first practice to do is to remove those leaves. Do not look at fungusy leaves and just be like, oh, I've got a fungus, and then you just leave it. Like, don't do that. Like,
do that
be
sometimes.
proactive. Like, take those leaves off. Those spores are gonna spread to other leaves and potentially other plants. Like, don't leave those leaves. Don't leave the leaf.
Take it.
Take the leaf.
Take the leaf. Take the
But
leaf.
then, yeah, like I said,
Straightforward.
it is. I mean, it really, I don't know how big your plant is, how small it is. I would need to see pictures to see how much pruning you can do. But typically, you can do leaf pruning to get rid of some of those horrible fungal spots that are going to spread to other places.
Now don't
And a
throw them
whole
on the
lot of it
ground.
can
Take
be
them and put them in the
handled.
trash.
That's right. Don't do that. Don't throw them in your compost.
A whole lot of it can be handled just with your thumbnail, just to reach in there and just
Yes.
pinch them off, and and that way you're not, disturbing the pathogen. You're not getting spores in the air. I mean, minimizing that, and that's what it's all about. Is you can a whole lot of efforts that are done in that regard can prevent the need for spraying. It's very manageable. It's only becomes unmanageable when the attention is not being given that should be.
That's right.
Yeah, like I said, I'm pretty bad at removing leaves like that, and then it takes over my plants.
Yeah.
And I say, I should have done it at the start, and I didn't, so now I have to pull this whole plant out. My hollyhocks look absolutely terrible right now. Covered in rust from bottom to top.
Oh, boy.
I know, but they're still blooming. So, at least I got some pretty flowers.
There you go.
You know what? It's time to go ahead and move into our hydrangea portion of the show. We're doing it early
Okay.
because we got to get you just,
I got to get.
you don't have enough passion yet for you. So there's something.
We haven't done what's in bloom yet.
Let's talk. Oh, that's what it is. That's when he gets passionate. But anyways, so we did get a live question in on Facebook about hydrangeas. So let's start there. Are there any oak leaf hydrangeas that will do well in full sun?
Okay. Hydrangeas can live in full sun. Oak leaf specifically can live in full sun. It can. Now, I don't know what full sun to you is. Okay. So when I think of full sun, I think all day long, full sun, like out there. And do oak leaves really want that? No, not really. Like, if you have that site, why is oak leaf the thing you think about? Like, why are you like, I'm going to push it to the max.
I love oak
I'm going to see if it can handle it. And like I said, it can live. Does it stress? Typically, yes, it does. Like oak leaf hydrangea does not want sun all day long. Now, if you have a 4 to 6 hour a day type of scenario, which we term full sun, really full sun for us is only about 4 to 6 hours. Any plant that's getting that is a full sun plant is going to be fine in that. But oak leaf hydrangea, if it's getting like 6 to 8 to 10 or like late in the afternoon, blazing hot sun up against a brick wall or something like that, you're going to stress it. In August, it's going to have some like brown tips. It's just, that's what's going to happen.
You want to talk about pushing things to the limit?
Yeah, Tyler, do it.
My oak leaf hydrangea are at that limit. They get sun after about 11 a.m. or 12 p.m. all the way until about 5 or 6 p.m. And thankfully, there are trees that the sun starts to go behind at the end of the day because the first 2 years, they wilted hard at the end of a very hot summer day. And I put them through their paces. I'd go and water them whenever they wilted, obviously, because that's a warning sign, a red flag. But now this year, I mean, with all the water we've been getting, they've been doing a lot better. But I don't think they would want any more sun than that.
Yeah, and like
a lot of times it's not the direct sunlight; it's the reflected heat off the house itself, off the masonry structure, whatever. And what's like in your case, I'm assuming, Tyler, they have now gotten big enough where they shade the foundation behind them. That, in conjunction with the trees, has given them just enough relief to be able to manage the upper ends of that without showing a whole lot of stress. The wilting is a part of it. Then you're going to have leaves that are going to be looking bad. So, as Austin's already mentioned, it's not that they won't live there. It's just not optimal.
And it's also, too, like Tyler, yours right now, like we've had adequate rainfall, which is great. And it's also early still in the growing season. So even something like a classic shade plant, let's talk about like hosta for a second. Right. You can grow hosta in the full sun. Hey, I just said it. The Hosta Society is going to be mad at me. Look, hosta doesn't want sun all that much at all. It can handle even deep, heavy shade. But my mother-in-law has been growing hostas in the full sun for 25 years.
Wow.
Big rings of hosta. I mean, huge. And right now, this time of year, with the adequate rainfall, they're beautiful. They're absolutely beautiful. They can handle it. Now, come August, whenever we get to that nasty afternoon, hot, horrible sun all day long, those hostas torch. They torch. So it's kind of just the time of year. Like, it's okay right now. It's not going to be okay later. You're going to see some damage. You're going to see some issues. Same thing with oak leaf.
And it'll be okay.
It's going to be great.
Same with one of my Japanese maple. I planted it in full sun. It doesn't love it, but mine like July, towards the middle of July, the leaves start to burn, especially at the top. They start to get crispy, but the plant itself is still healthy. I like it in that spot.
Yeah.
And I don't mind those crispy leaves because I like where it is.
If you can deal with that, you can live with it.
You can live with it. Yes, you can. How about best fertilizer for hydrangeas?
I mean,
what would you do? What would Kev do?
I mean, there's also acidic condition considerations, right?
If you want to change the color of your hydrangea, and this is the macrophylla hydrangeas, the big leaf hydrangeas, the ones that really like the water and a lot of shade, those are the ones you can change pH by giving them more of an acid-loving fertilizer and make them blue if you like blue. If you don't like blue and you want pink, then don't give an acid fertilizer. But really, any general fertilizer for your hydrangeas is going to be fine. Any organic material you can put on the ground would be great. And like, David, what could we use for that?
Well, I'm going to be quick to recommend the use of Earth Mix garden products.
Yes.
And Earth Mix garden products are specifically formulated and developed and aged and blended with one thing in mind, to really produce the optimal growing conditions for all plants, and to do so organically. There's no chemical additives. The only thing added to Earth Mix garden products are things that are purely organic. Endo and ecto mycorrhizal fungi, those are things that Mother Nature provides. Earth Mix garden products simply introduces those at higher levels to help encourage plant growth and overall health. You add that in addition to humic acid and elemental sulfur to align the pH properly so that the nutrients that are there are more readily available. You put all that together and you have the recipe for success, and that's what we really feel like Earth Mix garden products gives you the very best options at, be it supernatural organic compost, garden, ready to use out of the bag, ready to plant soil blend. Proganics O landscape is a great product to be able to improve any soil that you're getting ready to plant into. And of course, Caroline will be quick to mention Proganics I for those tropical things, because they give you all the organic benefits, and there's no peat. Matter of fact, there's no peat in any of the Earth Mix garden products. It's all the ones that would have peat use coconut coir instead. So no matter which product that you select, you're going to be assured of getting the very best results out of your plants, and with minimal issues from other things. Peat attracts fungus gnats, and if you're in an indoor greenhouse environment, they're not really injurious, but boy, are they pesty. And, so it's nice to not have to deal with those when you're indoors. So check out the whole list of Earth Mix garden products over on earthmix.net. If you want to figure out where you can find Earth Mix, go to the Find Earth Mix tab while you're there. And we want to welcome in we have had our westernmost Victory Gardens nursery out in Idaho. Now we have our easternmost, the Garden by Teresa B. Bryant, over in, is it Burnsville, North Carolina?
North Carolina.
North Carolina.
So no matter
Proganics
if you're
O
west,
and I offered there.
Wow.
So no matter if you're west or east or anywhere in between, we've got you covered on Earth Mix garden products. Check all those out. You can put your address in here in the box for turn-by-turn directions, or simply zoom into a location near you. Just remember this: success in gardening begins at the ground level when you use Earth Mix garden products. And we appreciate you giving us a moment to talk about that and help take the work out of your gardening efforts, and to help increase your success, because it definitely does both those things.
Yeah, and if your local nursery or garden center doesn't have it, go up to the tab and have dealer inquiries there. Wherever you are, if they can go to Idaho and go to North Carolina, they can go to your neighborhood too, folks. So
that's right. Get the best Earth Mix. So thank you.
Very good.
All right.
Ooh, wonderful. Hey, we've got one more hydrangea question to get in. My climbing hydrangea.
No.
I know this is Austin's favorite plant. Did not bloom.
Surprise, surprise.
Is it too much shade or is it too young? My plant is about 1 year old.
It's that plant. Some plants just decide to bloom some years and some plants don't.
Yep.
Really?
I swear, there's something behind that.
You've talked me out of buying a climbing hydrangea for a couple years now. Every so often I'm like, I'm going to get one. And you're like, Caroline, don't do it.
That plant's insane. Like, its vegetative growth is insane. Like, it will take over a whole 50-foot oak tree. Not take it over. It doesn't, kill it or anything, but it will run the whole way up it. And then some years, it does not bloom. And that plant does want some shade, y'all. It's like... That's what it is. Like, it grows up trees, up underneath canopies. So it's fine with the shade, and even in deep shade, I've seen it bloom. But it's rare to see that plant bloom. It's annoying. I said it.
That's all you got.
I said it.
And the flower is not really all that either. I mean, as of the hydrangea flowers that are come in nature, it's decidedly the least significant.
Yep.
So
great point.
It is one. Whoa! Look at me.
Hey!
Oh wow!
I got big. I got big all of a sudden. It is the least spectacular, and as you've already said, it's very sporadic. So if you've got a wall you're trying to cover and it's just really heavy shade and it will do that. And then occasionally you do get
A flower.
Just one single one.
I mean, sometimes it'll bloom prolifically. And-
You're right. Like it's unpredictable.
Yeah, and I don't know what there's some variable in there that has control over that, but I don't know what it is.
I don't
I've not
either.
been able to figure it out.
I don't
Well,
either.
I know blooming things can be tricky, but I'm seeing a lot of stuff still.
Are you?
You know, flowers around.
in bloom with Austin.
Thanks, Tyler.
That was smooth.
the man.
You're welcome.
There it is.
I've got a lot going on right now.
I know you do.
You're doing great, Tyler.
There's a lot going on around town when it comes to blooming.
Yep.
Y'all don't call me out if I miss something, okay? There's a lot out there.
We will.
You know,
Miriam will.
Stop. Hey, Miriam, your yucca's still blooming.
I know.
Hi. Okay. Here's a new one. Balloon flower.
Yep.
Yes, mine looks great.
I love balloon flower. When it's in bud, you can squeeze it and it's like you can pop it.
Like a
Don't do
balloon.
that because you're gonna mess up your bloom.
bloom.
But they're cute. They come in blue. They come in white. We have some right now. Not a lot because they're blooming, and that means they're leaving. But balloon flower, what a cute little perennial. Y'all should be growing that.
And it
you
gets taller
cannot
than you
kill
think
it.
it'll be.
It gets tall. You can't kill it. It's got a
No.
velvety leaf. It's a beautiful little plant. Let's keep moving. Shasta Daisy's still going.
Mine's
They're
still
about
not.
done. I'm getting ready to deadhead those, though. Getting kind of annoying. Caroline, your bee balm's still going. Butterfly
is.
weed, I noticed. For the monarch butterflies, that is
Oh,
just
mine is
popping off.
so healthy this year too.
It's crazy. Hey,
Yeah.
everything's healthy this year, y'all. The rainfall has been adequate. We are lush out there. Middle Tennessee is money power right now. Hey, hollyhock's still rusting up, but blooming. Sorry, Caroline.
It's okay.
Verbena's still going. That Verbena bonariensis, that perennial. God, that's such a good cut flower. It's such a good plant. It blooms taller than you think it does.
5
Purple,
foot.
so good. It's been a daylily kind of season, y'all. All of them just popping and still going full show, not even half show anymore. Full show, looking great. My alliums just started. Ornamental onions, what a great plant. So tidy, so cute. Just starting, not full show, about half show, but they are starting, looking good. Elderberry's still going. What a big old weed. Hostas. Hostas.
Got a question about that later.
Oh, great. Hosta's looking great. Your shade loving Hosta Society. Love you. Hey, great work. Canna lilies are awful, but they're blooming. Calla
They're
lilies.
not awful.
Hey, yeah, they are. They're awful to me. Calla lilies, if you're lucky enough to have a calla lily that comes back and perennialized like Mr. Bates does in his backyard, or he did. I'm not sure if it's still there. I need to go look at that today. But calla lilies, shout out to my sister. She loves calla lilies. I got her one for Mother's Day. They're such a beautiful flower.
They are.
They're so beautiful.
gorgeous.
There's one right up the road, blooming yellow, that comes back perennial every year. It's
Wow.
like great. Right up by their mailbox. Y'all, calla lilies, they're beautiful. A weed that you see on the side of the interstates, Queen Anne's lace. What about that? Wild carrot, people call it.
I love Queen Anne's lace.
Do you?
Yeah.
It makes a great cut flower. I'll give you that.
It's
But
very
it is
pretty.
a weed. It is an
And then you
absolute
get
weed.
stick tights after that. You get
Uh-huh.
those- They stick to everything. It's the original Velcro.
And then once again, hey, Miriam, yucca, it's still blooming. I like yucca. All the hydrangeas. I'm a hydrangea lover. Y'all know this. I don't have to say that. Why did I say that?
We definitely know.
I don't
this.
know. All the hydrangeas going. My quick fire is money. I've got a theory about. I'm not going there. I'm not going there. I'm going to talk to y'all later about this.
Oh, okay.
Theories. Okay. But all the hydrangeas. Oak leaf's almost done. They're still there on their way out. The limelights, the panicles, they're on their way in. It's going to be great. Okay. Those roses, the wild roses that are blooming pink, not the white ones, the pink ones.
Oh, my pink ones are going crazy.
Oh.
You'll love them.
What is that?
But they haven't hit them yet.
I don't even know what that
Ditch
is.
rose,
Rosa rugosa is what mine is.
It's a rugosa, yes. I mean,
Rugosa.
But they're just wild.
Yeah.
Out in the woods, but they're blooming, even in shade. Like,
yeah.
hey.
But they will take over if you plant them in your beds.
A lot of thorn and leaf, little bitty blooms.
Good
There are a
roses.
But
bunch
they're
of them.
cute.
There is a bunch
Fantastic
of
roses.
them.
They're super cute. Okay, let's go to the trees. What trees are blooming?
Here we go.
Some
Yes.
new ones. Hey, Chinese chestnut still blooming, still spraying. I talk about the spray. They look like starfish.
Yeah.
They really do.
I'm a fan.
Magnolias and sweet bay magnolias still blooming, still smelling fantastic, which is what they do. Hey, the sumacs, our native sumac, they're doing it.
Yep.
They're up. They're big. They're
Doing
doing
their
it.
thing.
They're another weed too, or weed tree. I'm pretty sure I read one time that sumac is native to all 50 states.
Wow.
Don't know that that's true. Y'all Google that. Let me know if that's correct. Maybe not Hawaii.
Y'all Google that
It
because
like,
he doesn't.
it likes
y'all
to
do it.
spread, and the birds like
I'm pretty sure it's native
berries.
to every 50 states.
So that would make sense to me.
Okay. Hey, shout out, Caroline. Your favorite, mimosa.
Yeah, buddy.
Just showed up
I
this
love
week.
mimosas.
I
I
love
know
mimosas,
it's
Tracy.
invasive, but I can't help it.
We can't help it.
I've loved that tree since I was little.
Yeah, you can't help it. It's such a pretty tree. Like I love mimosa too. Okay. Hey, Vitex just started probably in the city. Caroline just told me hers is just about to open, so I included it on the list.
Mine is starting to pop.
Tyler, thank you for that. Vitex, chase tree, beautiful plant, blue, really pretty.
Really
okay.
pretty.
You know what I saw this week for the first time?
What did you see?
Crepe myrtle. Just the start of crepe
Oh.
myrtle season. I've just started. This is the first one. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready.
So happy.
Let's keep it on going. Love a good crepe myrtle. I saw it. And then my favorite, by far my favorite tree. It's not my favorite tree. It's my favorite summertime blooming tree. The golden rain tree. Y'all.
I saw him too.
Hey.
I saw him too.
Yellow.
Yes,
What
buddy.
blooms yellow? Not a lot. You don't get a lot of yellow trees.
That's
and
true.
it is just up and great. And then shout out my last one, Ben Trest.
Benny Ben Trest.
Yep, that's his name.
Benny Ben the
He did
Benjamin
this.
Trust.
He did this. Look.
Dahlias.
Dahlias.
Wow.
Or
Dahlia.
Dahlias.
Dahlias.
Dahlias. not
Dahlias in a
dahlias.
LaCroix cup. Look at that.
That's Ben right there.
Thanks, Ben. Love you. That's what's in bloom.
Yeah, that's a gorgeous dahlia. Can't remember the name of it. He was like, "Here you go, Caroline. I don't remember what it's called." He said, "Don't worry, Ben. I'll take it on the show."
Great.
Edward and Alita, both one said Black-Eyed Susans and Clematis.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, still rolling.
Oh, yeah.
I
Hey,
hate black-eyed Susan, so that's why you didn't. Say
I hate black eyed Susan. I'm not going to even talk about that. But yeah, hey, Caroline, my clematis is still blooming.
Is
Good-
it?
good point,
Because
guys.
We did get a question about clematis. It says brand new clematis, partial sunshade, suddenly went brown and crispy.
Great.
Help.
That happens.
Y'all
Water?
do better. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Austin.
Well, things that happen that quickly, like it shouldn't be that quick.
What if they didn't do anything?
what if it was the plant?
No. It's rarely the plant. If you bought a happy, healthy plant, it just doesn't just go to a place and then within a few days die.
Does it shade itself out at all?
Mine went to
No.
a place.
Does it?
Clematis can live in deep shade. I've seen it. I've
Water-
observed it. I've
water
seen it
issues,
bloom in
fungal
deep shade.
issues?
It's always water. Always.
Water. So maybe they didn't water it enough. If it,
It
was
could
a
be
new,
not enough. It could.
newly purchased plant,
Okay.
If it's new and it dies quickly, it's almost always not enough water. And you can say, well, we've had tons of rain. We have had tons of
No.
rain. Don't get me wrong. But the rain rarely gets past like the turf level, like you're burying something deeply in a hole.
And using mulch and using landscape
Yes.
fabric.
So like actual water
yeah.
getting down to the root zone where it needs to be with the dirt that's around it, that needs to be adequately moist pretty much constantly within the first 2 to 3 weeks of its life. So I'm sorry that's happened to you. I'm so sorry.
wow, good apology.
Edward also wants to know what is it that you got against Black-Eyed Susans?
Yeah.
They take over. When I
Not
was
a
a
bad
kid, my
thing.
mother made me pull them.
Oh.
She planted them in her
It's a childhood
perennial bed.
thing.
Childhood
It is.
Okay.
from
It
that.
is.
It always goes back to
Mommy
childhood.
issues here.
Mama.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
But if you've got a spot, so I planted 2, and they were probably like 5-inch pots in 2017, and now I have a grove of black-eyed Susan.
what I'm saying.
They beat out the weeds. I wanted them to grow in. They're like, I don't have to weed there because it's so dense. Don't look at me like that.
You have to
And
weed the
then
black-eyed Susan.
Do they do,
No,
do,
I
they
don't.
do well as an understory?
They actually can grow. Mine isn't getting full sun. It's probably getting 3 hours of sun a day. Now, I wouldn't say understory. They do like direct sun.
They'll live anywhere. Let's be honest.
You won't get as many blooms.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I might have a spot.
If you have a spot this big, then forget about it.
no.
It needs to be
Mine's
this big.
like this big.
I want it to be this big.
Yeah.
I want it to be big.
If you want it to be big.
And they're easy to
sorry.
pull up. And Tyler, you're doing great over there.
I messed up.
No.
You did.
You've
Hey,
never
Tyler, I
messed
sent
up.
you
Yeah.
some photos this morning
what I
of
was
stuff
trying
that
to
were in
do.
bloom.
Okay.
I was trying to add a footnote to what's in bloom. Pretty little
Broke that
footnote.
fourth wall.
Yeah,
ladies and
wait, no, that
gentlemen.
was a green screen footnote.
Oh,
Yeah.
that picture looks
Oh.
wild. So we
Japanese
talked about, or
painted
Austin
for
talked
blue.
about hosta blooming. So here's a picture of my hosta bed that I'm actually going to have to separate some of these hosta because they're getting too big. That one in the middle, striptease, I got it, Monrovia. It is the best hosta, I think, in the whole wide world. Right next to Dancing Queen. Look at him go. They're merging right now. But yeah, that's one of my like 5 shade beds, and it's probably my favorite one right now.
Caroline, don't separate
hosta.
those. Look how
No.
perfect that is.
Well, I'm putting it back in, but next year it's going to be so big that they're going to be eating each other.
That is how it's supposed to look. I don't want
Right.
to see dirt.
This is how I want it, but I'm going to reset it, spread those hostas a little
Southern
bit.
living, baby. That's Southern living right there.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
Don't mess that up.
That's not my bed.
Nope, it's
That's
not.
not either. Tyler.
What kind of picture is that?
It's
Oh, there
the
it is.
corner
Oh,
of your
oh,
hosta bed.
yeah.
I don't know what's going on with the imager here. It's like zooming in on stuff.
Is it you or
No,
the?
it's not.
I'm just
And
kidding.
you got the ferns going on that are
I
just
got the ostrich
texturally
ferns.
awesome.
I've got the heuchera. You
Don't
can't
mess
see
that
much
up.
of the heuchera. Actually, there's a lot of heuchera in there, but it's tucked away under the hosta. But my heuchera is up through the winter and looks great. And then the hosta grows in and shades the heuchera, which starts to hate the sun that this bed gets.
I would kill those.
You would kill what? The heuchera?
No, the hostas. I'm still stuck on how beautiful they are, but I have
I do
no luck.
nothing to them.
Really?
Nothing. I
You don't
plant
have to.
them and then I let it go. Now this bed does retain a lot of moisture.
Oh.
It does that all up. I'm gonna dig up that striptease. I'm gonna separate her a little bit, and then I'm gonna put a big striptease hosta right back where it was in that hole.
I wish you
It's
wouldn't
gonna
do
look
that.
amazing.
You've got perfection and you're trying to mess it up.
I have perfection this year.
You're
Next
gonna have
year,
it
that
again
one-
next year.
No, next year that one will be too big.
It's gonna swell.
Listen, I planted that striptease 2 years ago. This is its 3rd season, and it was in a 1 gallon. It was just like 2 little hosta plants, and now it's this big. Next year it's going to be this big.
It's gonna be great.
And it's going to eat my dancing queen, and we can't have
No,
that.
no, why not just dig them out and divide them and then plant one of your divisions
That's
back?
what I'm saying I'm going to do. But that
Oh, okay.
Austin
Well,
is saying don't do it,
Mm.
and I'm going
Well,
to.
I think that makes perfect sense.
Thank you, David. Thank you very much.
Because what you're saying is true. It's very easy. We all want to believe, well, it's perfect right now, but it won't stay perfect.
Nope.
And
Correct.
if you're wanting to think a bit ahead, it's really what you have to do, and enjoy the perfection that it is. But you only the next year, if you don't do something about it, they're going to be greatly overgrowing each other, and then it's going to be harder to dig them out. And I understand Austin's concerns,
Thank you for the
but
concern, Austin.
I'm going to go with Caroline on that one. You probably need to be a little bit ahead of the curve. It seems.
I am
a lot of
going to
times
come down on
trimming
Austin's side because
fails.
I think we got
A lot
at
of
least
times
one more year.
I do too.
Yeah,
I will take a picture and send it to our
Okay.
group thread
Okay.
from the top, and then you will see how the other side of the bed I have a Diamond Lake, Shadowland Diamond Lake, that they're really growing together, and the leaves are on top of each other, and I feel like that's going to be a recipe for if slugs get in there. It's going to be really hard to get them out.
Oh, well,
I
maybe
like
we
them
need
to have a
put it
little
out-
bit of air. I put rocks
Maybe
in
we need to-
between them. Sorry.
Maybe we need to put it out to a vote so that people can tell
A poll?
Caroline what
Is it
they
worth-
think.
We will put a poll
out
up
there.
today, and we will see.
Okay.
Do you think Caroline should separate some of those hosta, or should
it
you
go
go
for
with
another
Austin?
Yeah.
Let it go
Separate
for
and then
one more
have
year.
a whole bunch of dirt to look at next year and not full leaves.
I have really cool rocks in between the hosta, so
No one wants to
you
look at
can't-
rocks. I want to look at hosta.
I want to look at rocks.
No.
Alrighty.
There's no resolving this right now.
Sorry.
Sounds like a.
Sorry, we're heated.
Here we go.
All right, should we cut
At an
down our
impasse.
iris that is starting to flop and turn brown on the tips? No,
Yeah, no, don't cut
don't
those
cut
yet.
your iris down. Your blooms will be so much better next year if you just leave it up.
Yeah.
And this is why I like plant stuff on top of each other. Layer my garden beds. Like with my peonies this time, well, they don't look bad right now. Like the foliage still looks great, but soon they'll be brown and a little crispy. But I plant other flowers in front of them that come up at a different time. So then there's always interest in your bed, and it kind of covers those not so pretty things.
Rocks.
Put rocks in your bed.
Yeah,
Well, the
I
rocks
do.
also help me to know where I have stuff planted.
Yes.
So they're great, and they look really, really cool.
They do.
Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, established switchgrass all died suddenly. What
What?
are your thoughts on what could have happened? That's a weird one.
What? Switchgrass
We don't know
die?
how long it's been established. Yeah.
Did they cut it, or did they trim it too much, or did what?
I mean,
It
you
won't-
really
it
you
won't
only
die
cut
if
it
you
once
do.
a year.
Right. I mean,
Just cut it before it comes back in the spring. But why didn't it come back? I need more info on this one because
Yeah.
established switchgrass typically doesn't die. Like, I don't know why that would have happened. Was there a Roundup in the scenario? Did someone treat your lawn with something? Are there like weird mole activity happening, which still wouldn't even seem to kill it?
all of it.
I don't know.
Because also, if they're established, they can also handle drought because their roots just.
Oh my God, the roots are insane on the switchgrass. Like used for erosion control consistently because their roots are insane. So I don't know why that would be. Something's happening. We need more.
Maybe
Need
it was
more
a new
info.
planting. Yeah, if you're watching right now or listening, let us know.
Yes,
Send us
please.
some more. But if you need more switchgrass, there's a place you can go.
What? Really?
That's right. Come on out and see us. That's right here at Bates Nursery and Garden Center, and we'll be open today until 4:00. And we do open the gate at 9:00. So here, just in about 20 minutes, we'll be opening up, and we're here to serve your horticultural needs, whatever that is. Whatever kind of plant, tree, shrub, ground cover. If natives are a thing of passion for you and you're wanting to incorporate native plantings into your landscape, and there's no reason why anybody wouldn't at least have a number of native elements in their landscape, we have an extensive selection of that. You can actually just go over to the website, batesnursery.com, and go to the search bar, just type the word native in, and I think there are 21 pages of items that we have listed in our native selection. They're literally all over the nursery. So come out and see that. We've been beautifying Nashville since 1932. My grandmother that was at the very outset of all this, and she's the one who got all this started, Josh. You know, she was planted peonies, and she grew geraniums in the hothouse back in the day. And where we are today is all a direct result of her efforts those 92 years ago. So we're really appreciative of that and of the support we have in Middle Tennessee. We invite you to come see us. We're conveniently located 1 mile north of Briley Parkway at exit 19 on Whites Creek Pike. That's just minutes from Rivergate, Opry Mills, Nashville West, downtown Nashville. And regardless of where you're coming from, it's worth the drive. So come out and see us. We're open from 9 until 4:00 Monday through Saturday, noon until 4 on Sunday. We are rapidly approaching our last Sunday of the season. We've got this one, and I think one more.
Correct.
So anyway, it's coming up quickly. Make sure you come out and see us. We're here to help you work through whatever's going on in your garden, whatever kind of pest or disease or sun or shade or wet or dry or whatever. This is all we do. And we hope that the program we put on here on Saturday mornings is reflective of and indicative of that fact that we are horticulturalists. This is all we do. And we try to do it at a level that, frankly, no one else can reproduce because
they can't.
We've been doing it since 1932. We'd love to have you check out my weekly newsletter. And all you got to do to subscribe, if you'd like to do that, is just to scroll down the page here. And right below the header page is the newsletter. Sign up there, put your name, email address, and make sure you check that you want to receive it. And then click on subscribe, and you'll receive that in your inbox. You'll get immediately a little notification that says you have signed up, and it comes once a week, about 350 on a Thursday, and it's always 350 words. So it's short read, direct to the point, and we're always talking about what we've got going on here. I'm not sure exactly what we have left, if we have much of anything left in the free vegetables that were part of we got a little bit. Un poco.
A lot of tomatoes and peppers.
Yeah, so
I heard about it on Thursday. Wow. And they're how much, David?
Free. So yeah, they're the most affordable thing we have currently.
Right.
So come check those out. All of our flowering annuals are 25% off, and that includes flowering tropicals and flowering hanging baskets. Earth Mix Garden is also 25% off. So come on out, check all that out. And all the other many wonderful selections we have here at Bates Nursery and Garden Center. We're getting ready for this next big project. We tend to take on a big project every summer, and this one will not be the exception. We haven't really talked about it yet, but you'll know. So coming up here in just a couple of weeks, the the effort in earnest began. So come check us out here, Bates Nursery and Garden Center, beautifying Nashville since 1932. And we appreciate you giving us a couple of minutes to talk about that and help you with your gardening efforts.
Come out, folks. You gotta see this place to appreciate it.
Yes, you do.
Absolutely.
We hopefully you're going to do some things to help you appreciate it even more. So we got a summer of work cut out ahead of us, and I know we'll all be happy once it's over with.
Yep.
We're actually going to resurface our entire sales areas.
Moving everything. It's going to be fun.
So it's going to be quite an extensive project. A lot of work involved, and a lot of moving of plants. So it's going to look like we're kind of out of business for periods of time because you cannot simultaneously sell off of areas and clean them and prepare them for adding pavement and or concrete. So those things are what we're working towards. We're kind of having to reduce some things down a bit to create less moving and more opportunity for future displaying and really having some great things to choose from. So there I am.
Let's work towards
What's in Room with Caroline.
Here we go.
Tyler's getting wild this one.
Yeah, I am all over the room today.
You are. You're everywhere.
You're so energetic,
You're
David.
so fast at moving. It's pretty crazy. All right, right behind my head, we've got crepe myrtle. And y'all, Austin said, Caroline, we got to bring these in. They're starting to bloom around town. So we've got one right above my head, full show blooming, and then one right behind David that's just starting to bloom, but we had to bring it in because the color on the leaves is just so cool.
That is amazing.
Killer color. We're not over there yet, though.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
Tyler.
It's okay.
Guys.
There we are. Now we're behind. It's like a natural rainbow almost.
Can you give that a wiggle, Josh?
It's a pink velour.
Wow. And then directly behind David, we got Vitex. Vitex is one of my favorite shrubs. I mean, it will be a tree. It gets huge. I love it. The bees love it. It's great for pollinators. It smells fantastic. And mine is almost growing in the shade and still blooming. So we had to bring Vitex. And then in front of the TV, we have just a variety of Rose of Sharon. Oh, there's my face.
Wow.
Hey. All close to that face. Rose of Sharon, Tyler. Here we go. We've got some more upright. We've got some shrubby
ones. Looks like you
ones.
have a row of Sharon.
We
right
have
now.
a Sharon row. I don't know if you guys can see.
I can't see the blooms past this beautiful display.
Yeah.
But they're back.
They're back
here. They're blooming. Y'all know what Rose of Sharon looks like.
The white and red. The white and red
Sharon.
one is just gorgeous.
Yes.
They're in the hibiscus family, right?
Oh, yeah.
Gotta be.
Yeah.
Hibiscus is the genus.
I've got
There it is.
Funny, I've got a really weird one that I won a bet with Austin, and so he had to buy me a plant, and he got me a variegated leaf Rose of Sharon, and the leaf comes out variegated. Don't look like that. I win all the bets. So I have a lot of plants. The
She's
leaf
lost
comes
a
out
few.
variegated, looks really cool, but after a month they all revert and just turn green. But it happens that way every year. Very strange.
There's
but I'm a fan.
There's probably 150 blooms on that one plant.
Yeah, y'all can't see it.
You cannot.
But let's move to what you can see. How about
Yes.
that? So let's go in front of us. So we've got Dancing with Dragons, hosta. I
That's
think
so
this
cool.
is a new one. I was picking plants and Sage was like, Caroline, have you seen the new hosta? And I said, no. And she was like, look at this one. So I'm definitely going to get this, add it to my hosta bed because why not? Dancing with Dragons, it is a fantastic name. And then we've got Brunera right here beside it. These silvery little leaves, they're kind of fuzzy. They're real cool and real big. And in front of that, we've got cat mint. Cat's pajamas. Look at it. It's cute. My cat mint's going crazy right now. I still haven't cut it back. I'm about to, so I will get some reblooms. It'll be gorgeous and amazing. And then we've got this really cool euphorbia right on the edge in front of Austin and in front of Josh. Right there. So it's got red underneath. It's got these little green with a little bit of yellow blooms. It's called Miner's Merlot. Wow, what a name.
Wow.
And it's also our feature plant today over here on this Lazy Susan. So if you've seen this flower spinning throughout the broadcast, that's what those flowers look
snagging?
like. Yep, it's snagging
wow,
things.
I just noticed that those have got blooms.
Look
on
at Josh.
them.
He's shocked. And then in front of that, we've got a pineapple lily. This one is called Crowning Glory.
Where's that lily? Oh, the leaves.
These dark leaves.
Look at that.
They're getting
So
ready
if
to
you
bloom
want
soon.
some dark foliage, something that likes a little bit of shade, that one's going to be great. And then we've just got more Vitex and more
What's
crepe
right in
myrtles.
front here,
Oh,
Caroline?
Artemisia. One, which I don't know if you guys remember last year when I was like, mine almost caught fire. I know you still don't believe it, but I do. But this is a huge one. Look how big it is. It's like a
Gosh.
shrub.
It is.
Yeah, really.
I'm not
quite
sure the
the
variety
screen.
of this one, Austin. Do you remember
don't
from when
remember.
we grabbed it?
I don't remember.
I don't think it's silver mound because that one does not get this big.
Is this down here also crepe myrtle?
That is crepe myrtle right there, and then Vitex on the ends.
Great work, Caroline.
Thank you. You too.
Absolutely.
You helped with this one.
It took
It
a
was a
long time to
team
decorate
effort.
this studio yesterday.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's the chase tree.
Mm-hmm.
Delta Blues right there.
Right there.
Right there.
there.
And then Delta Blooms right there.
Yeah, Ty.
But y'all come out, get
Can
you
you
some
come
plants.
back to the bloom on this one? Because it looks like a little baby hellebore to me.
Oh, Josh, you're
hold on.
right about that.
I'll
Yeah.
switch it over.
Okay. But I mean,
Pink.
Hey.
Little baby hellebore.
see?
Beautiful.
Yeah,
mean, it's
I might need to
absolutely
take some of these
stunning.
home.
Yeah.
They're super cool. They can live on rocks, y'all.
Mhm.
Like, don't plant that in a wet spot. They're high and dry,
Dry.
really
Yeah,
well
yeah.
drained. Like,
Oh.
very
I put
similar to like
some
sedum.
in my fall containers, and they did great. Not this specific variety, but I did do some. But that's what we've got in room today.
Good job.
Thank you for
Yay.
going on this little tour. All right, let's get back to questions. We got a few live ones in. Somebody says, speaking of insane roots on switchgrass, I have a question about that. I have a very mature switchgrass, 3 feet wide or so. Would it be possible to divide it into smaller plants and replant in a different location?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that with my heavy metal switchgrass last year.
Uh-huh.
And
You're
it
just gonna
did great.
Take a sharp shovel, like David always says, and you just work the edges, okay? We're going to work from the outside in. So you just pop your shovel in there, get a chunk of roots with some grass with it, separate it, move it, water it, certainly water it, and get it in a new spot. But yeah, a 3-foot switchgrass is big. Like, that's big, y'all. So that can certainly be shortened. Shortened.
Just get a file and sharpen the edge of that shovel.
Yeah, make it a sharp shovel
Yeah.
because the root system of switchgrass is insane. We talked
Yeah,
about that.
it
You
is
just said that.
crazy.
It is hard. It's not going to be like an easy dig.
And if it's established, it's going to be real tricky. Ben Trest actually dug up a bunch of Northwind switchgrass, and I got some of it, but he was like, that was hard to dig up. And then
Yeah.
Helen says, Caroline, would you consider doing a boot camp on how and when to separate plants that benefit from that process? That would be a great Bates Botanical Boot Camp.
Sounds
Write
like
it down.
we'll
And maybe we
schedule it
can
up.
do it on site when I go to separate my hosta, which
Whoa.
we're taking a poll, but I'm still going to do it. Donna is with Austin on that. Don't look,
What's the point of the poll if you're going to do it anyway?
because we just want to see. Because we just want
Do
to
the poll. At least let the people talk.
We're going to do it.
Okay.
We're going to
Is
let the
she-
people talk. We're going to see what they have to say.
Are we going to accept the results of the poll?
She's not,
No.
obviously.
Oh, okay.
She
Well,
just,
so
that's why I said, so what's the point?
Just to see what they think.
It's just
She'll
an
accept the
opinion
results,
poll.
but
She's
they
not
are.
gonna- yeah.
I'll give you a
That's all
thumbs
her
up and
plan.
I'll say, great. I'm
Thank
going
you
to do
very
it
much.
anyways. Yeah.
Donna knows. Donna, you know.
Me and David know. All right, let's get some listener photos up. I don't know if Tyler's ready for that.
Come on, TY.
Oh, you mean after my other past traumas? No. So, do you want to talk about the Colin? the
Yeah,
one that
let's
Colin
bring up
sent?
Colin's photo. So we actually got to see Colin yesterday here at the nursery.
Hey,
but
Col.
Colin and sent in these, excuse me, these pictures of his tomatoes. Says,
They're a
I'm
little
having
bit
this
scary.
really weird problem with my tomato plant leaves. These are all different cultivars. I grew them from seed. Basically, he doesn't know what this is. He did not use Roundup. He hasn't used anything to treat it.
Always.
And the whole plant looks like this.
And I talked to Colin yesterday, and I gave him unfortunate news. And that's that I think that's a virus.
Yep.
Okay. Viruses in the plant world, they very much so mimic a Roundup application. And I know Colin, and I know he does not spray Roundup hardly ever, if at all, especially in his vegetable garden, which none of us should be spraying Roundup in our vegetable garden. Let's just go ahead and say that. But Roundup residual spray on leaves can make really distorted, funky, odd-looking leaves, okay? He didn't do that. So what that makes me think is virus. And a virus in the plant world is a killer. It's not going to produce fruit properly.
Get it out.
You got to get it out. That's what I told Colin. Like, you cut your losses quickly on that. When you see something as funky as what Colin had, all over, every single leaf distorted and branches and things just gnarly. Like, that's probably an insect that brought in a virus that kills tomatoes.
Now,
Now, was
Go
that
ahead.
an heirloom variety? Do you know what kind of tomato that was?
He said he started it from seed, so I don't know exactly which
He had some.
I would
what did he say,
assume it's a
Sun Gold?
hybrid if he started from seed.
He
But
said something super sun golds.
Well,
or
he had a
something.
lot of different ones.
Yeah, a few
yeah, he had a bunch of different ones. But I think that one was the specific plant that was just absolutely awful and not good. Like that needs to get out because then other insects come in, feed on that plant, and then
spread
move
it.
to another one, and that's how it spreads.
What do we do with the soil that he planted?
It's not really a soil-borne
Okay.
pathogen. It's mainly in the vascular system of the plant. But but insects are the things that feed and then move that. So let's avoid that at all costs. Just if anything's viral, get it out.
Well, luckily we got to talk to him in person, and he got some free tomato plants.
He did.
Yesterday here.
And that's a good place to take notes and go, you know what, maybe that's a cultivar I want to avoid in future. Maybe it's just very susceptible to this particular virus or pathogen, or you might give it another shot. If it happens again, you certainly say, okay, I'm done with that one.
Yeah.
But I would be leery. There's so many to choose from. So I would be inclined to
Well,
perhaps try
Colin,
something different.
he commented Sun Gold Select, Black Crim, Dr. Wychie, and yes, he did get the Celebrity. I guess that's the one he picked up yesterday.
That's good.
That's money.
That's money. Yes.
Celebrity is money. Yeah.
So
All
good.
right,
Yep.
let's go ahead and get one more photo up. Let's see if it's there.
That was.
Tyler.
Hold on. Not easy.
I'm impressed
At the
that
moment.
Colin, why do I get you
Gosh,
too confused
Caroline!
all the time? That Colin was able to remember all of the varieties that he planted. Maybe he had them written down, but the fact that, Colin, you just got those up in the comment box so quickly, wow.
Oh, he commented that, I'm sorry, Colin, he said that the virus did get his Celebrity.
Oh.
It's not picky. It doesn't care what variety it is. It like I said, it's vectored by an insect. It's not a cultivar specific thing.
All right, so this comes from Barbara. Barbara is just asking what these weeds are. Should I pull them out? They just showed up in my bed. They're not flowering. What is it?
Poke.
Do we know?
It's not poke
It's
salad.
not poke
I can't
salad.
remember what that is, but I see that weed too, and it's not like a good weed. Like
I
just
get that
pull
weed.
it.
I pull it.
Yes, you just pull that one. It's very vegetative. It grows like a weed, and it will bloom later on, but it's not like cool. Like
The longer you leave it, that one gets really, really hard to pull.
and it gets big. It's got a taproot. Yeah,
Pull it after it rains.
yeah. Get that one out of there because I see that. Look at that old Cleome in the background blooming.
Yeah, buddy.
Look at it.
I
Wow.
see you. I see you, Cleome.
Gotta make way for it.
I'm going to see you
right.
in all different areas of the bed.
What other photos we got?
That's it.
Really? I sent you 4 different ones.
That's
Are you sure? We had Cherry and Miriam as well.
maybe I missed those, but that was the group of emails that I saw.
Well, we got
I
a
apologize.
wonderful email of some daylilies from one of our viewers who I've actually gotten to talk to here at the Garden Center before. And it's, I love daylilies, but not the brown dying foliage. Mine are just starting to bloom, and all my varieties have unattractive leaves, as in the photo attached. What can I do to make them healthier looking? Also, I have some overgrown houseplants. When is the best time to divide them? Thank you. I love the podcast. Eagerly anticipating every week. You guys are helpful and knowledgeable. As far as the houseplants go, this is the time of year. You want to do it when the days are long and it's warm outside, even if you keep them inside. So if you want to separate them, go ahead and do it now. And then as far as the daylilies go,
Prune those older leaves, y'all. Daylilies get rust just like hollyhock does. Like it's an orange, brownish looking rust that starts on the oldest leaves and then works its way up towards the top. Like I talked about earlier,
Clean 'em.
anytime you can clean those up and get rid of them, you're going to help stop the spread of that. Fungicides can be helpful, but really pruning is the way to go on daylilies. It's not going to kill daylilies at all. Like you can't hardly kill a daylily, but it is going to make the foliage look unattractive. So get in there, prune it out.
all right. And the Miriam had sent a photo of her yucca, which looked fantastic, and said you can rinse and saute yucca blossom petals for a delicious omelet. Miriam, that sounds amazing.
Wow.
Miriam's so fancy.
Miriam is
So
so
fancy.
fancy.
I've said it before, but she's so fancy.
She's so fancy.
You trying to make yucca omelets?
I need to try that. Mine didn't bloom this year, but maybe I'll get a bloom next year. And hey, we got another live question about bee balm, which we got quite a few bee balm questions in. Planted bee balm a few weeks ago in full sun, but no blooms as of yet. Is there anything I can do to encourage blooming?
Yell at it.
Yeah. No, you got to be patient. It's a new plant.
It's a
You
new
just planted
planting.
it, y'all. It's trying to settle in. It's trying to figure out its spot. And then once it does, it's going to throw some blooms.
We've gotten this question a lot as far as new plantings go of everything. They're like, I just planted this a few weeks ago or like a month ago, and it's not growing a lot, it's not blooming a lot, but you don't see what's happening under the soil level, which those roots are establishing, your plant's getting strong, it's getting in its spot, and it's going to be even better. Then someone says, can I transplant bee balm now or should I wait? I planted it in the wrong spot.
Oh, no.
Welcome to my world.
Been
You
there,
can
done
now.
that.
I don't necessarily recommend it. We typically recommend this over dormancy whenever it's dormant. If you need to do it now, though, just do it. Just make sure that water is close. Do not let it go dry after you move it.
Dig the hole first.
Dig the hole. where
Dig the
you're
hole
going
first.
That's
Yep.
right.
All right. Josh?
Golly, Moses, it's time.
fast.
Wow. Honest to goodness, folks, we enjoy our hour that we come in here on Saturday mornings more than you can possibly imagine. We hope you enjoy it too. Hey, go out to YouTube. Subscribe to things and share people and let us know what's going on because we want to see you out there. Throw it up on TV in the living room. You can watch what's going on. Hey, for everybody here at Gardening Inside Out, we thank you for participating. We'll see you right here from the Green Room Studios at Bates Nursery next Saturday morning.